Banter, banter, banter.
Banter, banter, banter.
Mama is now back in Arizona where it's 100 and some degrees, which I'm not bitching about. I flippin' love the warmth. That's one thing I am going to miss big time. But
I'm
it
having
was,
flashbacks of Italian swamp ass.
oh, from when you, when you went to Venice.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was just
yeah.
humid
Well,
and hot. I'm like, ugh.
you're going to get a lot of that in Arkansas.
Yeah,
Good luck with that.
yeah, it's starting to ramp up a little bit. I'm like, okay.
Hmm?
I'm like, dehumidifier time. Need to roll that bad boy in here.
I was gonna say, I've been reading that you have active rainstorm warnings going on tonight till
Mm-hmm.
Monday.
Yeah.
So, yeehaw!
Yippee ki motherfucker. It'll be fine. We'll be
Whereas we,
fine.
we I was gonna say, I don't think we have anything other than just wind, but that isn't bad. Oh my god! At least it's not like what I was driving in. I had a headwind all the way. I mean, that some bitch was coming right out of the 40 straight at me all the way until I got into Flagstaff.
Mm-hmm.
It was miserable. So, but we're home.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much going on here. I've got cats galore still.
The third
Um,
mama popped.
yeah, the third mama popped, so I have kittens presumably now starting to wander a little bit from the first mama.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah. Well, and you had oh, we could tell the story of where we went tripping down to the trash to
Oh, and
drop off
the
something late
follow
at
up
night. It's
that I had, yes, oh my god.
okay. So if you didn't catch it, we went down. We got a long driveway. We walked down dead of night to drop off some trash because our trash was getting picked up. And of course, I'm armed, and Katie's got a flashlight. And we hear this crash, crash, crash over in the woods south to us. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And she's looking, she's like, I don't see anything. It might have been deer, it might have been one of the cats, something like that. And about that time, she looks across the road and she's like, oh, Brian got a fake mule in his front yard. And the mule moved, and she's like, oh my God, it's a donkey. So we had a donkey visiting us. I'm like, that was the last thing I was expecting to see at like 10 o'clock at night. But hey,
Well, to follow up, like yesterday afternoon, morning for me, because I'm nocturnal. I don't wake up like bright and early. I get a knock on the
something was wrong
door,
there.
and I'm like, oh God, what's going on? So I go running to the front, like, door of the trailer, and there's my neighbor, and she's like, our horses got out, and they're somewhere over here. We just want to let you know. I'm like, oh, yeah, no worries. Absolutely no worries. She's like, we also have a donkey. He's probably wandering around here too. I'm like, he scared the crap out of me one night.
Yeah, we were not ready for that. And then she did another creepy thing too. We were out looking. I saw a rabbit, I think it was, go running past, and I had my flashlight out there, and we're looking into the woods. And she's like, "Oh, mommy, there's too many eyes." I went, "What?" She's like, "Look, you're catching the light of the spider's eyes over there." I'm like, "Okay, I'm done. Let's go inside. I've had enough."
Yeah, if you guys
We had a
didn't know that, if you literally like, if you have grass in your backyard and stuff and you have wolf spiders, go out and shine a light into the grass. All those little flickers of light in the grass
are there little eyeballs.
are their little eyeballs.
Did we tell them the adventure of the flippin' centipede?
Oh, the terminid
I
scum
don't
that was
think.
in the house?
So we're sitting out in the garage playing. She's playing. I'm watching and laughing. We're doing Helldivers 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go in. I'm old. I'm ready for bed. So I go walking in. Our trailer's pretty high up off the ground. And I open up the door, and the last thing I expect to see is Salem awake and alert and standing right there at me. And I was like, oh, dude, what are you doing up? And about that time, I saw it coming at me, and I'm like, oh, it was probably easy 4 inches to 5 inches long. The centipede rolling at me, and Salem's like, "Oh, look, Grandma, I can get it." I'm like, "No." So I'm trying to hold the cat off, stop the centipede from rolling. I'm standing on top of it. I call Katie. I'm like, "I need you now," and I hung up the phone. She comes running in, and she's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I'm like, "You got to do something with your cat. There is a centipede in there." It's a what? I said, "There's a centipede." Where? I'm like, "I'm standing on it, Caitlin. Put the cat in the bathroom or something because she wants to eat it." So she throws it in there, and I said, "Okay." She's like, "Grind your foot on it." I'm like, "I have been doing that for a while, and I can still feel it moving through my flipping crock." I'm like, oh, so I did it one more time and I said, get something to grab it up with. So she grabs paper towel. I lift my foot and she goes, oh, too many legs, too many legs. Starts backing off. I'm like, grab it. Your cat will eat it. They're poisonous. Oh my God. That was way too much nature for me.
To be fair, I tried drowning it in simple green.
Yep, that didn't work.
That didn't work. So then I was like, okay, you know what? Dish soap. Dish soap will do the trick. It kills everything. I drown it in that and it's blowing bubbles and looking at me like, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm like, oh, this isn't what I want.
Very resilient booger because, yeah, I was putting all weight of everything I had on it to grind it
Mm-hmm.
into the floor, and that bitch was not grinding. So
Mm.
I'm like, okay. And we talked to my friend Matt about it, and he goes, yeah, we have bionic bugs here. I'm like, yeah, you do.
Bodybuilder bugs.
Bodybuilder bugs, bionic, whatever. I'm like, these things are freaking serious. So,
Although I watched
yeah.
Salem. She was sitting on the couch the other day, and I'm presuming it was on one of the blankets. And I thought she was licking herself. I was like, what are you doing? I like stood up to go check on her and I just see legs coming out of her mouth. I'm like, what the heck do you have? And she opens just enough for it to peek out. It's a freaking wolf spider. Like it
Oh,
looks
good
out
God.
like, help me. And then she swallows it. I'm like, okay, that was a little much for me.
Oh my God. I tell you, your cat is, wow. Yeah. No, no, that was a little too much nature. I called for a flippin' pest guy to come. I wish I'd have JP, man. He'd take care of them all, but can't take him with me. So,
Yep.
yeah. But we got a pest guy that came out and took care of Katie's wasp's problem and hopefully sprayed for all the speeders and stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
once we get in there and start building and doing stuff, I'm sure they'll start kind of moseying away from the area of activity. But, I don't know. I've never lived in Arkansas. I have no idea. So,
I just know that last night while coming in here, I'm like, I had the lights on, which it's going to be dark here in a little bit. So I'm going to be wandering back into the trailer in the dark to grab my stuff for my evening gaming patrol because I'll be streaming. But there was some type of bug on the door that looked like a
I like the
wasp had
eyeballs.
a really, really bad day.
Oh, Jesus.
Like its wings were all torn apart. Like it looked like something out of freaking fantasy novels. Like I expected to see this shit in Baldur's Gate, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to game that badly. Maybe
Yeah.
I just go back inside. And it was angry sounding. Every single time it flew off, it was like, I'm like, so I'm like having a crisis because I'm like,
You know what it is? It's a mutant. It's evolved from the peppermint oil that we've been dumping on them,
maybe.
and all the
Literally, its
flippin'
wings looked like it had been through hell. I'm like, that's where you came from, and you need to return this fall. If not
yes,
sooner, go back to
sooner
hell.
go back. No, yeah, there's some bugs, and you haven't even started to tap the season yet either. So,
No.
and Katie came across her first tick, which surprising she didn't do too bad.
I ran from the cat. I fucking sprinted from her so
The poor
fast.
cat's like, but lady, I like you.
I'm
You're
like, get
nice. You
away from
feed
me.
me. Oh, Jesus.
The moment
Yeah,
you realize
evidently.
that you actually have better breath support than you thought you would by running around the building 4 times in a dead sprint.
And the cats are behind her coming at her. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Anywho, it's going to be an adventure, that's for sure.
Yep.
So her daddy's headed down again. We'll make him do a recording with you next week when he gets down there.
Yeah, I could probably do that. I got Sarah coming up next. So today's episode will be a repeat from one of my previous cases on the other show, but that's okay because you love me anyway, right? Right?
The show that must not be named.
The show that shall not be named. But we should have some new ones coming out here shortly because I'm working on other stuff. It's hard to do that when you have ADHD and you're like, yeah, this one, and then suddenly that inspiration for looking into it just fucking fades. And you're like, to the other one, this one.
Oh, yeah, it's like she's crow brain, a little bit of shiny, and it's like, oh, I'm off and rolling. Yeah.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Oh God,
You gotta get the
Katie, which
feather
one are we
duster
doing
out in front
today?
of me.
Yeah. What are we doing today? Well, we're going to do this one 5 minutes later. No, I changed my mind. I got to do this one. I need more research on the other one. Oh, go for God's sakes, child, make up your mind.
Well, unfortunately, this one, when I first researched it, there wasn't a whole lot there. So I really did get as much as I could with this one off the bat. So that's a bonus. So, unfortunately, though, there's stuff that it's like, oh, well, what happened there? We can presume, obviously, but
We love to do that.
it doesn't necessarily mean that it happened or not. So, before we get started, while we understand that some individuals listen for the entertainment aspect of true crime, it's important to remember that these are real people with families and friends who may still be suffering from their loss. These stories are not meant to open old wounds or cause further emotional damage to those involved. We remind you, please be respectful and do not dox or contact those involved with cases. The case discussed on this podcast today may be disturbing to some individuals, and listener discretion is advised. As far as trigger warnings go, let me fucking do a control F through this document real quick. So, there might be a minor involved with this case. I'm not entirely sure. If that's
I
the
always figure when
case,
you get to that point, you just stop it right there. Say, okay, here's your trigger warning, folks, and then continue
yeah.
on.
Otherwise, I'm not seeing anything just right off the top of searching through it. So, like I said, this is a slightly older case, and therefore some information may be lost to time, unfortunately. However, there's still good and interesting stories to cover with this. So, without further ado, we're going to begin our story of the arch murderess of Pittsburgh, Martha Grinder, or the Pittsburgh Poisoner.
Pittsburgh Poisoner.
So, a little backstory on Martha. She was born in 1815, and that's all I know prior to her moving to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In 1859, Martha and her husband, George Grinder, moved to Pittsburgh from Louisville, Pennsylvania, where the two were married. The two lived in a meager dwelling near the point. George, who was described as a simple minded and slow man, worked as a coal miner. Martha, however, had financial ambitions far beyond that of George, and from what I could find, she was ruthlessly pursuing them. To onlookers and bystanders of the time, the family, consisting of a husband, wife, and a young female child, to which the only record I could find of this child was in a New York Times article, and it was very poorly written, to which it's like, is there actually a kid or not? But after a couple of months, Martha suddenly changed her lifestyle of living, and the family moved into a nicer house on Gary's Alley across from Allegan River in. Oh, God, hold on. I don't think that's how that's pronounced.
We say this.
How do I say this? Allegheny. That's how
Allegheny River. You couldn't pronounce Allegheny?
No.
Seriously, child. Oh my God. So they're close to the Three Rivers area. There's three of them that connect there. Yeah.
So, after a couple months, however, Martha suddenly changed her lifestyle of living, and the family moved to a nicer house on Gary's Alley across from Allegheny River in Allegheny City. The family suddenly had plenty of money, dressed elegantly, and Martha introduced herself into society. Quickly, Martha gained the reputation of being neighborly due to her kind heart and remarkable charismatic nature.
Ooh, that's never good.
This made her a welcome visitor to her neighbors and a favorite amongst local residents. In so many ways of explaining the sudden financial boom of the family, Martha states that she was a relative of a wealthy ex-governor in Indiana, and that he promised prior to her marriage that he would compensate for her children if she were to ever have any. True to his promise, he had settled $10,000 upon the young female child previously stated. Martha also connected herself to Ames Methodist Episcopal Church as a member. but after some time lost the confidence of the members in the congregation and finally withdrew.
Hmm.
So now we're going to start with the murders, and I tried to put these in order to the best of my ability.
Just going, yeah, suddenly the husband's slow, but is he really that flippin' slow? Or does he totally believe everything his wife tells him? I'm guessing.
I mean, if your spouse was like telling you everything, like, I would presume that you believe them, like, you trust them.
Well, you try to, but I mean, good God, if your dad would walk up and say, "Our money woes are over. I just inherited," I'm going to go, "Who?" Because everybody older than you is already dead.
Where did you get the money? Don't
Yeah,
worry about
I'd
it.
be a little quizzical, but yeah, be a little quizzing. But
So,
okay.
the first victim was a girl by the name of J.R. Buchanan, which occurred on February 28th of 1864. Just 4 years prior to Buchanan's death, she had worked with the family of one Miss Kirkpatrick on Liberty Street. Buchanan was reportedly very economical in her habits and had accumulated a considerable stock of clothing and at approximately $30 or $40 in one of the city banks, which, mind you, that's a good amount of money for that
That's a
day.
good amount. Yeah. Yeah.
On the Wednesday preceding her death, Buchanan had left the employment of Mr. Kirkpatrick and Mrs. Kirkpatrick for the purpose of visiting her aunt who resided in Philadelphia. Buchanan withdrew her money from the bank with the intention of defraying the expenses and preparing for her visit. So I'm presuming she's trying to avoid any type of financial like
Well, they did. I was gonna say they didn't have
fees.
credit cards and stuff like that back there. You paid in cash,
Yeah. So she's trying to
or at least a banknote. Yeah.
avoid that.
Well, she's got to pay.
Yeah.
So
However, the visit was postponed and resulted in Buchanan accepting a role in the Grinder household as a maid on Thursday, February 24th of 1864. That same evening, Buchanan became suddenly ill with violent vomiting and purging. On Saturday night, Mr. Grinder called the house where Buchanan's travels trunk was at, requesting it be given to him as she was uneasy about its current location. The trunk was produced and placed in the Grinder's household. Buchanan's health in the meantime continued to deteriorate, although no information has been sent to her acquaintances regarding her illness. And on Monday morning, she died. The news of Buchanan's passing was sent to her acquaintances, though, which was shocking to most individuals who knew her, as she had always been in the best of health. Several persons, including a Mr. Roberts, who had previously been paying addresses to Buchanan, which is another way to say that he was courting
he
her,
was courting her. Yeah.
was called to the house of the Grinders to assist in preparing for the funeral. Upon opening the trunk of Buchanan, all of the money, a set of jewelry, and nearly all of the clothing were found to have been abstracted.
Mm.
Noting there wasn't even a sufficient amount of clothing to dress the remains that had been left.
Ooh, that's a little harsh. It's a little cold.
Mm-hmm. Miss Grinder, however, supplied the necessary articles of clothing from her own wardrobe, and the body was prepared for interment.
How generous.
Buchanan had been known for her possessions of clothing and money to many of her immediate acquaintances, especially Mr. Roberts, who had accompanied her to the Grinder's household the evening that she accepted the position and counted the valuables with her to make sure that she had everything. Like, it's just a double checking to make sure that everything's there. The sudden disappearance of these items reasonably aroused suspicions. Coroner McLugan was notified and impelled a jury to further inquire the manner of Buchanan's death. However, there was no post mortem examination held, and the verdict of death was concluded to be of natural causes.
Mm. Yeah. Arsenic's natural.
The next victim, from what I could decipher, was that of a next door neighbor to the Grinders, a young couple named James and Mary Carthers. In the times the Grinders had moved into their home, Mary Carthers fell ill, and Miss Grinder tended to her as she battled the bouts of the worsening illness. By the time that Miss Carthers passed on August 1st of 1865, the suspicion of Mr. Carthers, who had also been ill, had begun to arise, as well as many others. It was noted that a Miss Hutchinson was also suddenly taken ill at the house of Grinder at a similar time and was confined to her bed for weeks after. It was alleged on the night after the death of Miss Carter's, a supper was prepared by Miss Grinder for the watchers, and that one or more of these people that had ingested the food became sick with symptoms of stomach pain and vomiting, similar to the illness that Miss Carthers had faced, as well as Buchanan.
Oh, not suspicious at all.
Post-mortem investigation of Miss Carthers found traces of arsenic and antimony.
There we go. It's a natural selection, though.
To which law enforcement began to recognize a trail of deaths leading back to Miss Grinder. Investigators began to take into consideration that the illnesses were brought about by Miss Grinder. The Buchanan case was reopened, and the body was exhumed to be found that she was also poisoned, similar to Miss Carthers. Miss Grinder was arrested on August 26th of 1865. The trial focused only on the Carthers case, which included testimony from James and other neighbors that had fallen ill in Miss Grinder's care. Chemists and physicians and a former servant who had purchased the poison for Miss Grinder also testified.
They had rats.
They had
rats. We had rat problems.
During the 5-day trial, evidence was presented and the courtroom was crowded nearly to suffocation by men, women, and children, who were all drawn in by the desire to learn the extent of Miss Grinder's crimes. And when the last witness left the stand, a universal murmur echoed through the room: guilty. On the morning of October 28th of 1865, at 9:25 a.m., the jury had reached a verdict, finding Miss Grinder guilty of first-degree murder. Upon entering the prison, she was led to her cell and requested to speak with her husband. What was said I was unable to find, but she became very emotional and wept and protested her innocence repeatedly, stating that her neighbors had maliciously prosecuted her and that the trial was sworn falsely.
Yeah.
She expressed considerable anxiety for her fate of her husband and begged that the sheriff do all in his power to save his life, adding that he was too innocent for any possible charge pending against him. To which I'm like, I went and looked around. I'm like, did Mr. Grinder have charges brought against him? And I couldn't find anything.
Really?
No.
I kind of would figure he would have, especially since how he evidently knew some shady shit was going on when he requested the baggage and stuff.
Yeah. So I'm like, huh.
Maybe for her.
But then again, he could have had charges brought against him, but that paperwork might have been dropped and it's just wiped clean. Yeah. So, potato.
Testify against her. Yeah, I was going to say he didn't testify against her?
No. You don't have to testify against your spouse. That's Fifth Amendment, isn't it?
Don't start me on those. I can't remember. I could look it up for you.
Yeah. I just know that there's a law where you don't have to testify against your significant other.
Exactly. But if they were saying you were going to be convicted, we'll drop the charges if you say your wife did it all. It's like, oh yeah, she did. Here you go.
So Grinder was sentenced to death on November 25th of 1865. And on January 19th of 1866, Miss Grinder's sentence was carried out at the gallows at the same time as two other convicted murderers, one Freckle and Marshall, which I have their page bookmarked, so we might be making a return trip back to them.
Ooh, we always like a roundabout.
Yep. Do a wraparound.
Yep.
At Miss Grinder's request, her clothing was bound around her feet, and her final words were, "I am going to heaven, and I hope to meet you there," before the rope was adjusted and she was hung.
So how long did it take between conviction to hanging?
So conviction was the 25th of 1865. They
Right.
hung her the next year on January 19th.
Wow. That wasn't very much time to make an appeal.
Nope.
Guess that didn't work back then.
During the trial and following her death, speculation of another possible victim grew to include her first husband. Her husband's brothers were significantly notable though. Jeremiah, who died on November 15th of 1864, and Samuel, a veteran from the Battle of Gettysburg, who died on medical leave at his brother's home on December 4th of 1864. The deaths of the brothers reportedly increased the size of inheritance available to George and Martha Grinder.
There we go.
Along with another neighbor, one Miss Marguerite Smith, who was also Mary Carter's sister, and a Miss J.M. Johnson, who had also died under mysterious circumstances. The total number of Miss Grinder's victims, like other serial killers, is up for considerable speculation. Miss Grinder confessed to only killing Carthers and Buchanan prior to her execution, though.
So she did confess.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes me think they dropped charges against the husband.
It was more of a plea deal.
Yeah. You leave my husband out of it and I will confess to it. Which surprises me, but still. So how many did she have in total that they kind of pin on her?
So they had Buchanan,
2 brothers.
the Carthers, Miss Carthers, the 2 brothers, and her first husband, possibly. So that's
So
5.
At least 5. At least 5.
And then Marguerite Smith, so 6.
6.
And Miss Johnson, so 7.
7. Okay, well, keep going. We might be
We'll
up
keep
to 8
going.
or
We
9.
might get up to 8 very soon.
Oh, good gravy. So it sounds like she was kind of prolific in this by the time she hit the Carthers or whatever her name was.
Well, I mean, that's what happens with every serial killer. Like, they're sneaky with the first couple, but then they start getting sloppy. Like, you just poisoned your whole entire neighborhood. Like, yeah, let's see what happens.
Am I written into their wills? No, but I didn't like her. She had an attitude. Okay.
I just don't want neighbors. I'm more of a quiet person. I'm not a people person.
This is why we put Katie in the middle of the woods.
Oh, thanks. You and my brother both are
You're
like,
welcome.
you're going to be a serial killer. No, I'm not.
No, we're going to make sure of that, but yeah.
So,
Anywho. Yeah.
aside from that, I did find one interesting fact.
Okay.
In the span of less than 8 years, Pittsburgh had only executed 2 women. And these were the only 2 women that were ever executed in that area.
Okay, who's the second one?
I gotta go Google it because I didn't write it down because I'm a fucking dumbass. Fuck past Katie.
Damn it, Katie. You can't lead up to this momentous event and then go, oh, I don't fucking know. I was going to say, it was very odd for women to be executed anyways, but if she confessed to it, that would definitely be a reason for them to go ahead and do it too.
Mm-hmm. I want to say it was another woman that was doing the same shit because
Well,
tis
that was
the
very
season.
popular.
It's very
I was gonna say
popular
that-
from like the late 1800s to the early 1900s. Like
it was
it was
big back-
prolific during
prolific.
the
17,
1920s.
1800s. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was like, you don't feel good. Your wife might be poisoning you. Probably is.
Probably is. You're probably
Well-
not wrong.
Well, poisons were readily available. And some of them were even prescribed as cures for stuff. So it's kind of like when they made Coca-Cola. Who would have thought it had cocaine in it?
Well,
Wish
it's
they
like
put it back in.
we discussed this with, I want to say it was Mary Crichton, but her foundation had arsenic in it.
Yeah. Well, what was it? Oh, for tin. over in England. We were talking about it for the one where you and I were first one I ever did,
Vienna
and I had
Residency.
said yes, and it was back then. When you were mining for tin, you were getting arsenicked. And the powder was killing people, and nobody understood why until everybody started dropping dead. And it was like, oh, well, there might be something toxic.
Oh, I found a letter
Okay.
regarding her confession.
Oh, there you go. Hang on a
In
second.
view of my departure in a few hours from Earth, I want to say that I acknowledge my guilt in the case of Miss Carthers and also in the case of Miss Buchanan. But I am innocent of all charges made against me in the newspapers for poisoning people. But bad as I have been, I feel that God, for Christ's sake, has forgiven me. And though his mercy, I hope to find an entrance to heaven. I die without hard feelings to anyone, forgiving all as I hope to be forgiven.
Just found a really interesting page. Has nothing to do with this, but it's the death penalty USA. USA executions from 1607 to 1976. Female executions from 1632 to 1800s.
Ooh.
You should see the list of witchcraft.
Send that to me. Send it in the chat.
Oh, I did. I did. Not in the chat, but I did because I don't have it on this phone.
Oh, okay, there she is. I found her.
Okay.
So the second one that was executed was one Lois Lane. And
Superman's lady.
Superman's lady, I'm so sorry.
My God, Lois, what happened?
But it appears that she was also convicted for the same manner of killing people, poisoning with arsenic. So it looks like we might be making a roundabout trip back over here for a couple other people.
Yeah, I would think so. And after seeing this, I'm like, you may want to come check this shit out too.
Well,
Okay, I'm in the 1800s now.
Witch!
18.
But yeah, not to give too many spoilers because I plan on going up to Salem, Massachusetts for my 30th. So prepare for some witch trials next year at some point.
I was gonna say,
They're
yeah, when
coming.
you get back to the old ones that I was in the first link that I sent you, it was just like all of it was witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, ooh, spooky. Now it's just murder, burglary, desertion, murder, rape, robbery, murder,
Mm-hmm.
murder. But yeah,
Murder.
before that, yeah, before that, the old ones that I had, wherever it was, the 1600s, yeah, it was just the sheer amount of flippin' witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because how
I
dare
mean,
women practice medicine out of their homes?
I know, right? Yeah, go look at that page because yeah, it is just full of witchcraft. Everything from between. I think the last one they hung as a witch. Hang on, I'm gonna go. Yeah. Okay, so the last one was. There it is. Was in 1692. Was
Damn.
the last one dealing with witchcraft, but they had a pretty good go of it for since 1648.
Oh yeah. Like people seem to think that it was an isolated incident in Salem and it wasn't.
Yeah. No, that's an interesting little thing that I found you. Deathpenaltyusa.org.
Interesting.
And I sent it to you. I just happened to slam on that one. That was pretty interesting. Yeah.
Good find. Good find.
Good find. Good find.
But anyway, that is the story of Martha Grinder. It's a little bit of a shorter episode this week, but still sweet and to the point nonetheless.
Gotta get that poison in.
Yep.
Poison.
Well, I love
Yep.
looking at the poison cases because I'm like, I like watching them deteriorate at the end. Like, oh no, I didn't do that. Huh? You ate the pudding? Oh no!
Yeah, exactly. I only mix that for special occasions. Well, no.
No,
Yeah,
it does
the
not
poison
appear
ones
that.
are. Yeah, the poison ones are really good. But again, it was readily available due to poisoning rats, that type of thing, because, they had the plague, so you wanted to make sure you took care of them little bastards.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, readily available, they'll do it. And women are more often to do a gentler murder versus hacking them up, although
I don't think this is gentle. To be perfectly fair,
Well,
like
it's. I'm not saying it's. She didn't get her hands dirty. Let's put it that way. She wasn't spattered in blood. Maybe a little bit of vomit or shit, but no blood. So
Ugh.
it's a little cleaner crime, I should say. I guess.
I feel like it's not. I feel like it's
Oh,
a
I would
no-go.
feel it's horrible.
It's a
It's
horrible
no
way to
bueno.
go.
That's for sure. Yeah, exactly. But just saying, she kind of kept her hands clean,
Mm-hmm.
not like
Avoid
thumping them on the head.
suspicion. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, they were just taken ill by the consumption. It's like,
Although
yeah,
I do
okay,
kind of
whatever.
wonder how many women in the 1800s were just like, I'm just going to go hack and chop this person up.
There you go. Note to self. Let's go find out. 1800s.
Other than Elizabeth Bathory. So,
Well, I still say she didn't do quite as much as they accused her of, but that's just me.
I can understand that, but I also don't think that she's 100% innocent either.
Oh, God, no. Who is?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. So, no, yeah. Again, like you said, when women were trying to be healers and nurturers, we were heathens, we were witches, we were demons. And if you didn't scream during childbirth, the devil didn't get in you. If you screamed and made a fuss back then, they'd lop you and the kid both off because that meant the devil was trying to get out you. I know. The look on her face. Oh my God. Yes.
I still cringe knowing that the chainsaw was originally invented to help women with childbirth.
The fuck?
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, that's what the chainsaw was originally invented for, was to help aid women with childbirth.
What does it do? Just revving it up and scares the baby out of them? Or are they talking about like sticking it in there and oh, sweet baby Jesus?
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Ew. Ew.
To be fair, it's not
Okay,
what
on
we
that
consider
note-
what the chainsaw is today, but
Well, I know it was probably just a little bitty thing, and it's like, yeah, we got to get through that pubic bone or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is the only way we're gonna be able to get that baby out. It's like, no, where's? But yeah,
because how dare we do an actual
Oh.
C-section? That's witchcraft. Must be natural.
it's witchcraft. Yes, you must not scream, or the devil has gotten in you. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh Lordy be. Yeah.
There are some days I'm like, you know what? I would do well in the Middle Ages. And then there's other days and I'm like, you would be burnt at the stake within 10 seconds of your life. I'm like,
Oh, you'd land there, and they'd go, no, not you. But I'm here to help. No.
Well, that was another interesting one. Sierra and I were talking about that the other day because she thought that the witches in Salem were burnt, and they weren't.
No, they're hung.
They were hung. I'm like, technically, all witches in the United States were hung. And she goes,
Yeah.
huh? I'm like, no, the burning of witchcraft happened over in Scotland a lot of the time,
Yeah.
or in
That was,
Britain.
that was European.
That's very European.
Shit, they were always burning somebody. That's
Mhm.
again, we need to bring back the medieval murders, torture devices, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
We need to do that one again. Oh yeah.
I love
We
doing
need to do
torture
that one again.
devices and like gruesome fucking executions.
The pair of pain or whatever it is.
Oh, the
my
pair
God.
of anguish.
Yeah. You could do this way or this way, and I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure there's a few more ways that they used it. So
Mhm.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
That's way
Yeah,
too
we
much.
got to do that again. Those were good. Those were really good.
Thank you again for listening to Spattered. Please make sure to follow the show on Facebook and Instagram at Spattered Podcast and on X at Spattered Pod. If you're enjoying the show, make sure to follow and leave a 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts from. If you're watching on YouTube, like this video, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to be notified when the show goes live or drops a video. As always, if you have a case request, any questions, or are interested in sponsoring the show, please email me at spatteredpodcast@gmail.com. Spattered is a true crime podcast hosted by Caitlin Gardner and Sarah Ray. The research and edits for this episode were done by Caitlin Gardner. All the music for the show was done by Lucio Cardenas. We'll see you next time. Stay safe out there. And remember, the truth is always in the blood.